Is it correct to say Nordhaus jump-started your career at Yale University?
I think it certainly got me into the graduate program there because I'd forgotten to take my SATs.
You forgot to take your SATs. Some of our staff did as well. You forgot to take your kid, obviously very acute, very bright. You blow it. You forgot to take your SATs. And here's Nordhaus of Yale. He's written the book on from Samuelson and all the acclaim. What was a Nobel Prize winner like 40 years ago?
He was a great teacher. He taught in the macroeconomics course when I was first and second year graduate student. And he just was a very inspiring teacher.
Within this is your remembrance of James Tobin. I mean, folks, this links back now 60, 70, and 80 years. This is what we love to do, like Michael Spence's work with John Hicks years ago at Oxford. You wrote the definitive remembrance of James Tobin. Explain what Tobin and Nordhaus did to bring Robert Solow's economic growth forward.
Well, really, in a way, Nordhaus and Tobin, in some important joint papers, started modern environmental economics as integrated with growth theory, as a limit to growth. That's why it's so interesting to have Romer, who with endogenous growth theory basically reduced the role of diminishing returns. Tobin and Nordhaus in his later work, showed constraints on growth coming from the environmental side.
So much of this comes back to Robert Solow of 57, the advent of modern growth. And then you go to, say, from the London School of Economics, Ronald Coase with his limitations as well. Now we're at a critical point. Is the Nobel Committee trying to say something to the elites and to the academics about the immediacy of our limits in an environment?
I certainly would interpret it that way. It's no coincidence, I think, that in a time when environmental issues, Paris Club and all that, are all over the front page, that we get a Nobel Prize for the father of modern environmental economics.
I mean, Francine, I think it's just extraordinary.
Yeah.
And again, it goes back to these linkages of academics of the various schools in the transatlantic sphere.
Yeah, and Willem, we follow it very closely. People follow it very closely. But to, translate what this actually means for the public at large. Will they have a better understanding of, I guess, the crosshairs of environment and economics? Does winning a Nobel Prize actually mean you can educate the world to some of the things that you've discovered, or is it only for the elite?
Well, it gives you a platform, right? It doesn't change the substance, of course, of what Nordhaus and Romer wrote, but it gives them a platform for which to address the general public. And I think that, especially, from the point of view of environmental economics, is immensely important, because so much nonsense is being spoken, especially in this country, about environmental issues from up high, that it's important that somebody's actually done the work, done the hard analysis, studied the facts, as well as trying to put together coherent theories, that person be listened to.